Ever since Joe Biden referred to the right as semi-fascist, they've been performatively pretending to be offended by that weak sauce comment. And the best example, I think, is Mark Levin. He is going to take the I don't like it and turn it up to like 15. Take a look at this.
The dehumanization of your opponents, which is extraordinarily dangerous. This is what regimes do, totalitarian regimes. They dehumanize their opponents. This is what Biden, again, a street thug, sleazeball politician. That's all he's ever been. It's all he's ever will be. If you're a semi-fascist, you've been dehumanized.
I'm not a human anymore. Because he didn't call you a cockroach. He didn't call you a rat. He didn't call you a virus or a bacteria. There are things people can say about their political enemies that are dehumanizing. You can probably hear them on a regular basis on the Mark Levin show. But semi-fascist from noted street thug Joe Biden, that's not one of them. Like the Marky doth protest too much, but he's gonna go even beyond that. It's not just dehumanizing. Joe Biden is following in a long distinguished line of genocidal dictators. Listen to this.
And all this targeting of Trump is, again, to send a signal. Dehumanization is a big deal. And that's what genocidal regimes do. Jews aren't human beings. They're just not. Or at one time, blacks aren't human beings. Some parts of the world, it's still treated that way. They're still treated that way. Or, for the Taliban, women aren't human beings. And so it justifies, in their minds, all kinds of horrendous, inhuman acts.
Yes, because we know if anything bothers the right, it's black people not being treated with respect, women not being treated with respect. They're forced to do all sorts of things. Oh, like what, Mark Levin? Are they forced to give birth against their will? I agree. That's unacceptable. Anyway, he's talking about what's justified by this dehumanizing. No, I'm gonna flip it on you. Being fascist justifies identifying your movement as fascist, and he didn't even do that. He did a half measure, like in many things, Joe Biden. He called you semi-fascist. No, you are fascist. Look, we've had interviews with scholars of fascism. We've been breaking this down for years. There are all sorts of different ways to categorize and analyze whether a movement is fascist, what overlap it has with historic fascist parties. Maybe we'll do more of that in the near future, but I think Joe Biden is years late on making what seems like a fairly common sense necessary identification. And Mark Levin whining about dehumanizing and genocide and all that isn't gonna distract from the fact that it's an accurate evaluation.
It's crazy. So they don't want to talk about critical race theory in schools, but when it comes to dehumanization, Mark Levin can then point out and then say, oh, look, when they dehumanize you, that suddenly they're out to come kill you. We've been making that point for a very long time. As a matter of fact, you know who's dehumanized, as he did point out there, the enslaved folks in America. You notice he didn't want to point out how that was literally the founding of the country. Okay, so was it a genocidal country then when we dehumanized these humans so that we could force them to work, kill, maim, separate, and force them to build the country? Is that dehumanization? I think it was. Are we a genocidal country because of it, Mark? No, they skip by that part, but they actually don't want to teach their kids about that because they might put. Anyway, beyond that, Steve King talked about Mexicans that are potentially at the border. They have cantaloupe calves. That's dehumanization of them. They're just drug runners. They're mules. We hear those terms all the time. Also, Trump literally called folks that are migrants animals that are coming to the border. They call Barack and Michelle Obama monkeys and apes. Doesn't sound very human to me. Also, what did Hitler and those Nazis call those Jewish folks that they absolutely killed? Talk about genocide. They didn't call them humans.
Yeah.
So as we're talking about how Joe Biden called you a semi-fascist, you know what fascists are? They're humans.
Yeah, that is notably not
After
the
all
best
that,
humans.
The only thing on all those lists that all these conservatives like to call folks, the only one that's a human are the fascists.
Yep.
That they're denying and upset about now.
You're 100% right. They routinely call entire groups of people illegals. They're not people. They're not even like a noun. They're just a group of adjectives. They're characterized by the fact that I think they broke the law. That's the only thing you need to know about them. There's no other facts about them. It is so dehumanizing. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.